Hello everybody, welcome back to Multitagos Gaming and welcome back to more opening packs because I have an obsession. Once again, the awesome people at Alpha Fortress in Chino Valley, Arizona hooked it up where I turned in some cards today, some of my Bloomborough cards, and it gave me enough to get 4 packs from Thunder Junction. So I have 4 packs that we're going to be opening today. We're going to try something new. My 2 favorite color combinations in Magic have always been black and green. So we're going to try to build a black and green deck. And actually my buddy Mac, who I play Fortnite with and I do Magic games with, gave me a couple of cards to get started on that black and green. So starting off we have Honest Rutstein, Frankenstein. That one is worth 36 cents. And then this Back for More, which is a really awesome looking card. And this is why I'm into Thunder Junction, is the art is just chef's kiss. This is worth 5 cents. But more than the value, I am interested in how cool that looks. And as you can see, I did get myself a better camera. This is actually my usual face cam that I hooked up to the old camera that I was using to capture the top down. Last up we have Pillage the Bog, which is $1.38, so that one is not bad at all. So we're starting off with those 3, and we're going to see if we can build a deck. Now, the hookup that Alpha Fortress did for me was I got my 4 packs of Thunder Junction, and he said keep the channel going, and gave me a free pack of Murders at Karlov Manor. So we're going to start off with opening these guys, as I kind of like sticking to the sets when I'm making decks, and since I only have 1 pack of Karlov, then we will open this, we'll see what we have here, and then we'll move on. These decks, if you go into Alpha Fortress, are $6 a pack. So alright, so starting off, we have our token, a mysterious creature. And it looks like the lighting's a little off. But then if I turn on my extra light here, it gets a little washed out. So a mysterious creature here. And it says you can cover a face-down creature with this card. And it is a 2/2. Worth 17 cents for that token. Okay. Then we have a foil Karlov Manor Plains. That's not bad at all. Not what we're building today, but that's still pretty cool. Okay, next up is the Gearbane Orangutan. That is worth 1 cent in the foil. Actually, it says 1 cent, but it pulled it up as normal. So going into foil, it's worth 5 cents, okay. And again, so my total cost was $24. It would have been $30. So we're just gonna see if, like, how close I get to that. I've long since accepted that I'm not hitting the total cost of what I put into these cards, but it's fun to look up. It's fun to do. Alright, and then we have the Lamplight Phoenix worth 58 cents. And I know usually you only count cards that are $2 or more, but with the TCG Player app that I use, so it's just a camera that scans it. When it sees the card, it puts it down there at the bottom and tells you what the value is. So I'm going to go off of total value. Now with those 3 that Matt gave me and what we have so far, we're at $6.73. So far we've already met the quota for this pack, and I'm going to include those cards because I paid nothing for them. They were just a gift from Mac. Case of the Gateway Express is 30 cents. Now, and as I understand it, Karlov Manor was kind of a failed expansion. Because they tried to add too many new mechanics that people didn't really understand. Oh, a rope! When would we need a rope? The rope is worth 7 cents. I don't know if you're a fan of course, now that I'm on the spot, I'm blanking it. The two Irish brothers. Boondock Saints. One of my all-time favorite movies where they have an argument about whether or not you need a rope. And since it's a green card, I am tempted to put it in my deck. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this into my Thunder Junction deck because you never know when you're going to need a rope. Next up, we have the Persuasive Interrogators. Worth 3 cents. These are some Gorgon detectives. Look at that art. I'm going to get as close as I can. Oh yeah, I love that art. Love it. Now that is a black. So I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to break my own law. And I'm going to put everything to the side that covers the deck that I want to build. Coerce to Kill. I love that. I've been very much so into the Magic the Gathering stories lately because every time they come out with a new expansion, they have an entire story that comes out based on it. So Coerce to Kill is 2 cents with it's a 3 black blue. And actually, this might be good for my Assassin's deck that I have, in which Enchanted Creature has base power, toughness 1/1, has Death Touch, and is an Assassin in addition to its other types. But I control an Enchanted Creature, so I can pull one of my opponent's creatures over to my side and give it Death Touch. Okay. Undercover Elf Crocodile Detective. Worth 1 cent, but again, that art. The artists here are just, this is Nicholas Gregory did this one. It's really nice, really slick. There's another Gearbane Orangutan. I don't know. Svetlin Velinov. But I like that art. Now we have They Went This Way, which looks like a fetch land card. Search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle and investigate. So that's not bad, and it is a green, so we'll put it in the running for our deck. Demand Answers. Worth 24 cents. So currently we're up to $7.69. And we've not even gotten to the rare yet. Due Diligence is an enchant creature card. Worth 4 cents. But target creature I control other than enchanted creature gets +2/2 and gains vigilance until the end of turn. And that enchanted creature gets +2/2 with vigilance. That is a solid card. On some Murders at Karlov Manor. Cerebral Confiscation. Oh. It is now, okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take these guys, the ones that are in the running for the deck, and put them off to the side. Just because it is now scanning those cards. So Cerebral Confiscation, if I can get it to scan, there it is for 3 cents. There's a black, and you choose one. Target opponent discards 2 cards, or target opponent reveals their hand. I choose a non-land card from it, and they discard it. And art looks like Luis Lasahiro. Very well done. Crowd Control Warden, worth 2 cents. And that's going to be the last card. So, let's see. What is the... So the uncommon was the Persuasive Investigators. And here we have the Crowd Control Warden. It's a white-green. Art on that goes to Diego Gisbert. Always good. I think that's what I'm obsessed with when it comes to Magic the Gathering. Is I'm more obsessed with the art than anything else. So moving on to our first Outlaws of Thunder Junction pack. We're going to start off with an art card that I can see. Now these packs are going to have 14 cards in each one. So here's that art card. Very nice, very slick. I like that. And now we will flip. And we will start counting for this. So we have Consuming Ashes first. If I can get it to focus on it. You know what? It's a black card, so I might have to... Well, alright, I'm going to look this one up manually. For Consuming Ashes from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. They're looking at 4 cents for that. Exile target creature. If it had mana value 3 or less, surveil 2. Art on that. Done by Campbell White. Very nice. Next up, we have the Daring Thunder Thief for 3 cents. He has Flash, which means you can play him at any time, just like you would play an instant. And he enters the battlefield tapped. Probably because he's a cost of 4 with 4/4, which is pretty good. Loving on that art, though. Now we have Steer Clear, which is a 3-cent card. It's an instant. Deals 2 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Deals 4 damage to that creature instead if you controlled a mount as you cast this spell. He's getting bucked off that bull. Next up, we have Highway Robbery, worth 13 cents. Let it focus up, maybe. There's the focus. So they are, in fact, robbing, it looks like a train that they may have derailed. Getting plenty of silver bars for that. That is Scott Murphy on the art. Love that. Hard Bristle Bandit up next for 4 cents. Now, a lot of cards, especially the newer sets as they're coming out, they depreciate fast after coming out. So a lot of these, I'm assuming, aren't going to be worth much, but always good to see. Now this guy, the Hard Bristle Bandit, really reminds me of Cad Bane from the Star Wars universe. He's got the cowboy hat, 4 arms, kind of a nondescript alien creature. Either way, love it. Francis. Is that Tene? Or Francis Ne? I don't know. Cool art, though. Very well done. Throw from the Saddle, worth 3 cents. Target you control gets +1/1 until the end of turn with a 1/1 counter on it instead if it's a mount. Then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Love that art from Eileen Sherry. Sterling Key Keeper next. Actually, you know what we didn't do is scan it in. 4 cents. Sterling Key Keeper here. Love it. And for 2 mana, you can tap a target non-mount creature. So for a cost of 2, she is a 2/2. That is not bad at all. Now we have Make Your Own Luck. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may exile a non-land card from among them. If you do, it becomes plotted. Now, I don't know how to plot a card. This guy is worth 10 cents. And that is going to be an uncommon there. You can see by the U. Next up is another uncommon for... Scan it. Thank you. Scalestorm Summoner for 6 cents. When he attacks, create a 3/1 red dinosaur creature token if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. So he's just going to summon in dinosaurs left, right, and center. And that is awesome. Another uncommon now, Sheriff of the Safe Passage for 8 cents. Love that art. Sheriff of Safe Passage is a human knight. He is a 0/0, enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it, plus an additional 1/1 counter on it for each other creature you control. So you got 6 creatures on the field. This guy maybe it was 0/0, but with 6 creatures, he's coming on with 7/7. That is not bad at all. Okay, we got that Inspiring Vantage, $3.40. Okay. So now we're getting somewhere with a rare land. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer lands. So that's new. I've not seen anything like that before. I do see that we have a mythic underneath it. So while covering this, I'm going to scan that in. Maybe. Okay. So let me just double check that this is the one that I just added. It sure is. Okay, so it looks like we actually have 2 pulls this time, because one is for this Inspiring Vantage, and the other one is for the Contagion Engine, which is 6 colorless. And when it enters the battlefield, I put a -1/1 counter on each creature target player controls. So everybody gets a -1/1. For 6 colorless, it better be good. There we go. That one is $3.67. Really nice pull on that. Okay, and then next up we have our Prairie Dog. It's pulling up 7 cents, but we're going to put that it's a foil. Goes up to 9 cents. So Prairie Dog looks like he'd be at home kind of in the Bloomborough set. But that is a... Wait, are Prairie Dogs squirrels? Because he's a squirrel creature. Prairie Dog. But the Prairie Dog is worth 9 cents. Next up, we have the Creosote Heath, worth 13 cents. The art, as ever, is just wonderful there. And that is a green-white. Enters the battlefield tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to a target opponent. So I get to choose who that damage is. Or I can use it to summon a green or a white. So I can use this in my deck as it's a black-green. And then I can just use it to summon green. Or I could do a 3-color deck, which I've tried to do before, but on a 60-card deck, it's really hard to balance that kind of thing. Okay, so that was just 1 pack. We got 3 more to go. And we pulled like crazy. Oh, looks like the laptop is dying. Let me take care of that really quick. And while I do that, you guys can look at my token bat.
I'll be right back.
Okay, plugged in and ready to roll. So we have our token creature bat here. And I don't believe that token creatures are really worth anything. Let's see, it's trying to scan it. I think a bat token is worth 16 cents, so. Now we're going to flip and get going. Now again, if there is a proper way to open these, let me know. So, Fake Your Own Death is the card that we just pulled. Let me try and focus or refocus there. There it is with Fake Your Own Death. If I can get it to scan. Doesn't look like it, so we're going to add it manually. For 10 cents. Fake Your Own Death. Until the end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0. Gains when this creature dies. Return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control and create a treasure token. That is an instant, so I can play that. And then my creature dies and it comes right back tapped. That is not a bad card at all. Now we have Take the Fall for 2 cents. Target creature gets -1/-0. Until the end of turn, it gets -4/-0. Until the end of turn instead, if you control an outlaw. So there is Take the Fall. Now it's Take Up the Shield. A lot of takes here for 6 cents. Looking at a +1/1 counter on target creature. Gains lifelink and indestructible until the end of turn. That is not bad at all. Iron Fist Pulverizer. I'm doing this all wrong here. Iron Fist Pulverizer for 2 cents. But it is a giant warrior creature with reach. And when I cast my second spell each turn, he deals 2 damage to a target opponent. So there he is hitting with his Iron Fist. That's sick. Dance of the Tumbleweeds, worth 5 cents, is a sorcery. So there's the Dance of the Tumbleweeds. It has Spree. Choose 1 or more additional cost. So when I cast this for 2, I can choose to pay an extra 4 for both of these. Where I create an XX green elemental creature token, where X is the number of lands I control. Or I search my library for a basic land card or a desert card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle. Now, I can choose to do both of these for a grand total of 6 mana. That's not bad at all. Okay, there is Harrier Strix for 5 cents, a bird creature. When it enters the battlefield, I tap a target permanent. Now it's an owl, and owls are my favorite creatures. It has flying, of course, and owls are my favorite animal. Fun fact about owls is that they are the only silent flyers. Next up, we have the Racuous Entertainer for 3 cents. He's a cost of 2, but he's a 2/2. And for 1 and to tap him, I put a 1/1 counter on each creature I control that entered the battlefield this turn. Himself, I assume, and it does not say until the end of turn. So that's awesome. Oh, we have our first legendary creature, and it is an uncommon. Let me see if I can't get it to scan. Does not look like I'm going to be able to. So, excuse me. Vile Smasher. Lethal Grenadier from Thunder Junction. Let's take a look here. He is worth 9 whole cents. He is a black red, so maybe we need to rethink our colors here. He's a Goblin Mercenary. His cost is 2, and he's a 3/2, which is pretty good. And when another outlaw enters the battlefield under my control, Vile Smasher Lethal Grenadier deals 1 damage to target opponent. And it says their assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks are the outlaws. So that's a really cool card. Black and red. Not bad. Next up, we have the Treasure Dredger. Treasure Dredger. Now that one won't pull. Oh, wait. Earlier, I was at work on a break, figuring out which cards I was going to do, and I had to do this with it to get it to go through, but that's not working. So, Treasure. This is worth 10 cents. So far, we're up to 1633, and we still have 2 packs to go after this. So, Treasure Dredger. Come on, refocus. You know you want to. I can tap for 1 and pay 1 life. How's that for your... How do I do this? Oh, come on now. Now it decides it doesn't want to redo. But that is a 2/2 human rogue, cost of 2. I can tap for 1 and pay 1 life to create a treasure token. Okay, so when in dire straits, that wouldn't be a bad thing at all. Hellspur Brute is next. And that is a 4-cent card, but he has a cost of 5 for a 5/4, and he has affinity for outlaws. So he casts 1 colorless less to cast for each assassin, mercenary, pirate, rogue, and or warlock I control, and he has trample. So that is really good. Next up, we have the Stingerback Terror worth 37 cents. I don't know. I still can't get it to focus. So maybe if I just... How about now? He is a 7/7, cost of 4 with flying and trample. This is... Oh, but then he gets a -1/1 for each card in my hand. So this is definitely a late game when you start getting rid of cards. To make sure that he keeps that 7/7 or at least close to it. You keep 1 card in your hand so that he can be a 6/6 maybe. Okay, come on, read it. I don't know that it's going to read it. So we're going to add that manually. It is a card called Terminal. Agony. There's the cost of 2 colorless plus a black and a red. Worth 7 cents. See if I'm just going to fight this refocus the whole time. But that is an uncommon, and you can kind of see the card art there through the blur. That is really nice. But Madness for black and red. If I discard this card, discard it into exile. When I do, cast it for its Madness cost or put it into your graveyard. But this is a sorcery to destroy a target creature. Okay, let me try something really quick. There we go. So here we have the Desperate Bloodseeker. And for some reason, black cards just don't like to scan. Desperate Bloodseeker right here. Worth 2 cents. Oh, but wait, it's foil. So it's probably going to be, I'm going to guess 7 cents on foil. 8 cents, okay. I was close, but no cigar on that one. Desperate Bloodseeker. He is a 2/2. He's a vampire creature with lifelink. When Desperate Bloodseeker enters the battlefield, target player mills 2 cards. Okay, so that's when they take 2 cards off the top and put them in their graveyard. That is not bad at all, and ending it with a mountain. I really like the art on that. Okay, 2 packs to go. It's going to be kind of a longer episode, but I'm okay with it. Of course, again, while I'm opening this pack, I'd like to thank Alpha Fortress for being so awesome this whole time. I just mentioned that I have a YouTube channel, and I told them I have 54 subscribers right now, and they said, okay, here you go, let me help you out. So I'm going to put all their info right below me right here. It's going to sit there the whole video, and it will also be in the description with their website and address and everything, phone number. See if maybe they can send you something. Okay, I have just a play card. It says here, play on mobile, and then there's a scannable. If you don't play Arena, you should. It's fun as long as you like really, really sweaty players. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start off with Corrupted Conviction. Well, just trying to reveal the next card already. Believe it or not, I can't get it to scan. So, Corrupted Conviction from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. There it is. We're looking at 12 cents for that Corrupted Conviction. But it is a cost of 1 black. And I have to sacrifice a creature to draw 2 cards. So don't know when I would use that, but in dire straits, maybe. Next up, we have a Geyser Drake. Worth 6 cents, and that is a flying creature with 2/3. As long as it's not my turn, spells I cast cost 1 less. That's kind of broken for instants and flashes. Bridled Bighorn is up next for 5 cents. It is a Sheep Mount with Vigilance, which means it does not tap after it attacks. Whenever Bridled Bighorn attacks while settled, create a 1/1 white sheep creature token. Saddle cost of 2. Tap any number of other creatures you control with total power 2 or more. This mount becomes saddled until the end of turn. Saddle only is a sorcery. So, it is essentially a vehicle engine. But in this, they're calling it saddling. So as long as I attack while saddled, I create a sheep. That seems a little broken. Next up, we have the Mine Raider. Worth 3 cents. 3/2 human rogue with trample. Cost of 3. And when he enters the battlefield, if I control another outlaw, create a treasure token. Okay, that's not bad at all. Nice little red card there. Next up, we have the Giant Beaver for 4 cents. He is a beaver mount. When he attacks while mounted, I put a 1/1 counter on target creature that saddled this turn. Not bad. Saddle for 3, though. But I can tap any number of other creatures. So that is not bad at all. Oh, the Razzle Dazzler. Worth 5 cents. Can't beat that name. When I cast my second spell on each turn, I put a 1/1 counter on Razzle Dazzler. Can't be blocked this turn. So as long as I cast 2 spells, he cannot be blocked. And he gets a 1/1 counter every time. That's not bad. Art by Wayne Wu. Very well done, Wayne. Next up, we have the Hollow Marauder. Believe it or not, it's not scanning. Hollow Marauder. Added to my pile for 6 cents. It is a Spectre Rogue 4/2, but it's a cost of 7. Costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in my graveyard. Okay, so later game, you can get him out there as long as I have 6 creatures in my graveyard. He has a cast cost of 1. That's not bad at all. He has flying. When he enters the battlefield, any number of target opponents each discard a card. For each of those opponents who didn't discard a card with mana value 4 or greater, I draw a card. That's not bad. Next up is the Getaway Glamour, worth 11 cents. That one has a spree, which means I can choose to pay these extra manas. It is a cost of 1 mana, so to cast all 3 things will be 4 mana. That's a very low cost for a spree, especially when you are destroying and exiling opponent's creatures. Next up, we have Betrayal at the Vault for 3 cents. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each of 2 other target creatures. Okay, so I just 1v2 other people and take no damage from it. That is not bad at all. Now, I am currently listening to the Thunder Junction story. So I'm sure a lot of these will make a lot more sense. I'm not even going to try with you. I'm just going to put in that it's the Caustic Bronco. Worth $2.86. We have our third pull of the day. The Caustic Bronco here, it looks like it's a snake horse mount. It is a terrifying creature. You want to see this creature? It's a snake horse. Isn't that terrifying? Not something I think I'd be mounting. But it has a saddle mount cost of 3. And when it attacks, I reveal the top card of my library and put it into my hand. I lose life equal to that card's mana value if it isn't saddled. Otherwise, each opponent loses that life. So I have to make sure to attack with these cards while they're saddled, or it will hurt me. Okay, next up we have our Territory Forge for 33 cents. When Territory Forge enters the battlefield, if I cast it, exile target artifact or land. Territory Forge has all activated abilities of the exiled card. That's not bad. It is a cost of 5, being 4 colorless and 1 red. Next up, we have the Savage Smash. I've not been having luck scanning these, but we'll see. Nope. Okay. Adding Savage Smash for 8 cents. It is a red-green. You can see there. Now it looks like an armadillo is smashing up the town. As a sorcery, target creature I control gets +2/2 until the end of turn. Fights a target creature I don't control. For a cost of 3, that's not horrible. Because a 1/1 will then immediately turn into a 3/3 and fight someone else. Next up, we have Stop Cold. Good night. I love you. Stop Cold is worth 8 cents. It is enchantment aura. It has flash, so I can cast it anytime. Enchant an artifact or creature. When Stop Cold enters the battlefield, tap an enchanted permanent. Enchanted permanent loses all abilities and does not untap during its controller's untap step. So this is essentially a pacify because you just keep them tapped. And with a cost of 4, I'll take it for some of those cards that you've seen Mac ramp up. Next up, we have the Soured Springs for 11 cents. Soured Springs enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters, it deals 1 damage to a target opponent. You tap that for blue or black, so I will probably be adding that to my deck as it will be black. And then I can damage target opponents. Where's my lands? There they are. Yeah. And for the final Thunder Junction pack, now keep in mind I will be making a green-black deck out of this, and then I will challenge Mac to a 1v1. Okay, looks like we got another art card. Just wonderful art on that with the lightning striking the windmill. And it looks like he's doing a kind of like a Frankenstein kind of experiment, huh? Bringing back some kind of creature with that lightning. That is cool. Okay, we're going to start up with a 15-cent card, Reckless Lackey. He's a Goblin Pirate with First Strike and Haste. So he's a 1/2, but he has First Strike. Now, if I pay 2 mana, or 2 colorless, 1 red mana for a total of 3, I also sacrifice this card. I draw a card and create a treasure. So that's not bad. Next up, we have the Ankle Biter. 4-cent card. He has a 1/1 with Death Touch. Cost of 1. So that is a possible turn 1 snake. Not bad at all. Next up, we have Raven of Fell Omens. Now, I have a feeling about this card, even though it's a common. Let's just take a look. Raven of Fell Omens. Added 6 cents. So it's not a super great one, but it costs 2 for a 1/2 with flying. And when I commit a crime, each opponent loses a life, I gain 1 life. Ability triggers only once each turn. So, targeting opponents, anything they control, and or cards in their graveyard is a crime. Now, I'll have you know that we are not anywhere near the end of this pack here, but we have $21.29, which means it is very possible to hit my cost for the first time ever of me doing these videos. Now, this is actually the 3rd one I've recorded, but the 2nd one going up. The 3rd one, get excited, next week we're going to have, I did Assassin's Creed Commanders to see if it was worth the $80 I spent for 3 packs. And that kicked this whole thing off. Spring Splasher here, 5 cents. But he is a Frog Beast. He is a 2/1 Frog Beast. Spring Splasher. And when he attacks, target creature defending player controls gets -3, -0. So I could attack, they could choose to block, and I could just take away 3 of their damage. Which is awesome. Stagecoach Security is up next for 2 cents. It is a cost of 5, which is a little heavy for a 4/5. But when it enters the battlefield, creatures I control get 1/1 and gain vigilance until the end of turn. So I can bring it into the battlefield for 5, tap none of my creatures while attacking, and then go on with my turn. And I can plot this card, meaning I can pay 4 and exile it from my hand. Cast it as a sorcery later on without paying its mana cost. So to plot it is actually cheaper, so I can plot it, everyone knows I'm plotting it, and then I can cast it later on. That is excellent, because it essentially then becomes a flash card. Next up we have Jin of the Fool's Fall for a whopping 1 cent. But Jin of the Fool's Fall is a 4/3 with flying. He also has a plot of 4, which is really, really nice. I'm definitely going to have to look into some of these decks because I'm digging what these cards can do. Next up, we have the Holy Cow. Sorry. He is a 2/2 with flying and flash. When Holy Cow enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and scry 1. That is too funny. Oh, Wizards of the Coast. You crack me up every time. Ooh, we got a dual card, which means it's not going to scan. Ooh, it scanned. Look at that. That's actually surprising. For 10 cents, we got Cactus Folk Sure Shot. Really nice. He has reach, which means he can hit things with flying. He has a ward of 2, which means that in order to cast a spell on him, you have to pay an extra 2 mana. At the beginning of combat on my turn, other creatures I control with power 4 or greater gain trample and haste until the end of turn. Okay, so everybody who has this first number 4 or higher is gaining trample. That is a red-green. Next up, we have the Arid Archway, which is a land desert. Enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, return a land I control to my hand. If another desert was returned this way, surveil 1. That is worth 38 cents. So not the best pull, but also not the worst with a colorless land. That's not bad. We are getting towards the bottom of this deck, and we are at $21.90, which means I am $2.10 down. Next up, we have Shoot the Sheriff, black card, believe it or not going to scan. So we will add that for 15 cents. It is a cost of 2, and it is an instant destroy target non-outlaw creature. Outlaws being assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks. Everyone else is fair game. So it's a cost of 2 to Shoot the Sheriff. That's not bad at all. Next up, we have our Colossal Raggle Worm for 20 cents. He has flesh as long as I control a desert, which shouldn't be tough with the lands that I have over there. He has trample. He is a 6/5 with a cost of 4. This is an incredibly good card. I can exile him from my graveyard for a cost of 2 and search my library for a desert card, put it on the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. So when he dies, I can then exile him as a fetch land. So that's not bad at all. Okay, we have another of these prosperity cards. Believe it or not going to scan. But Ride Down, and Outlaws of Thunder Junction has been added for 6 cents. So here we have Ride Down. It is an instant with a cost of 1 red and 1 white. Destroy target blocking creature. Creatures that were blocked by that creature this combat gain trample. Okay. Creatures that were blocked. Does that mean the opponent's creatures get trampled? Or my creature? I think it's my creatures gain trample. Not even going to try that for the Black Snag Buzzard. And we're going to put that at its foil price for 3 cents on this card. There is a cost of 3. It is a bird creature. 2/1 with flying. Black Snag Buzzard enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it if a creature died this turn. So I would probably summon him on my main phase 2. Or I can plot him for 2 and then bring him in as soon as a creature dies. To give him a 1/1 counter and make him a 3/2. That's incredibly broken. And we will end it with a mountain land. Now this one is not scanning, but I love the art on these things. Absolutely just love it. Okay, so grand total of everything we just scanned was $22.34, with the cost of $24 that I spent on these decks, and keeping in mind that those cards that Matt gave me just scanned in for $1.38. Looks like $1.80 for the ones that Matt gave me. So we're looking at about $21, $20.50. So we're looking at a loss of $3.50 for this deck. So far, I'm loving it. And I've got plenty of black here to build on my black. Plenty of green here to do the same. So I will be building a deck with these cards that I just drew. And it's going to be either a black-green or a black-green-red. Because there are some pulls here that I would love to have in that deck. I also need to work on getting more sleeves. But I will be challenging Mac to a game with the deck that I come up with these cards. And here you can see them all one more time. I love these prosperity cards. But for now, that's going to do it. I'd like to thank you so much for watching this longer episode, but I hope that it was worth it for you as it was for me. I can't wait to build this deck. So we'll see how it does when I play it next time against Mac. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. And until next time, bye.